Come and join us for a day in Ochos Rios, Jamaica. Okay, guys, from the time this DJ said Wagwan and she had that music jumping, I knew that it was up from there, honey. She said that vibe from go, right at the port. She had everybody vibing, just getting us in the mood to see the island, and I was so excited. Jamaica is one of the places I wanted to go to. So this is just us leaving the port. We had hopped on an excursion van that was inside, but I heard on TikTok that you have a better time when you leave the port and you go out and do your own thing, which is what we chose to do. Getting off that van was the best decision of the day. So here is Derek and I. We're just walking, and this is when we meet O'Neill. O'Neill has his own tour company over in Jamaica, and he was just asking us a little bit about ourselves and what we wanted to do. And so there was one thing that I wanted to do first and foremost. I wanted to go to the secret blue hole. I had been on TikTok, had done my research, and that's what I wanted to do. So we chose to do that. This is me just walking to our private taxi, and I had to get the palm trees. They were absolutely beautiful. And from there, we went to a store. So we had our own VIP taxi. It was $140 for the entire day. That's our driver, Garfield. And it was just what we wanted to do, and that's what we did. So we chose three things: panoramic views, and secret blue hole, and we got something to eat. So this is just us driving past the flea market, is what we call it here in America. But over there, they call it the market. And I wanted to stop to get some fresh fruit, but we didn't have time. But as you can see, it's a city just like any other city. Of beautiful place. I can't wait to visit again. So this is just our short drive, about a 15-minute drive from the port. This is us arriving at the secret blue hole, and that is our tour guide. His name was Kevin, and he was just telling us about the mineral water and how it doesn't burn your eyes and how you can drink it if you want to, and how it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is the entrance to the blue hole, and when you get there, you have to sign waivers, and just in case you drown, you can't sue them or whatever. So that's Derek signing the waiver. I signed my waiver. And they have resting areas. Okay, so let me say this. One thing for sure. See that older lady there in the feet? They do not mention on any of the videos the terrain. The terrain there is not easy. Those ladies probably had good intention and wanted to enjoy themselves. But unfortunately, if you have bad knees or you're not in shape, not the place for you. Okay, so this is the entrance where you go to pay. As you can see, it's very busy. I'm not sure what it costs because my man went in to take care of the admission. I want to say it was $25 to $50 per person. Okay, so but they had a lot of the waiting areas, and once we took care of the payment, again, there's another older lady. She probably had good intention, but people turned around. If you're not, you don't have to be in excellent shape, but you're gonna hike a little bit. But look how beautiful it is. Absolutely stunning. The water was turquoise blue, and I was at this point, I was in the water. The water was freezing. Let me go ahead and tell you this. This water was cold, but you could jump in at any point. The object of the game was to get to the top and dive off one of the cliffs that they have, because you're in the jungle. You're actually in the jungle, in the mountains, in the hills. I wouldn't necessarily call them mountains, I guess hills. But these gentlemen were on the ship with us, and they were contemplating on getting in that cold water. And there's Kevin. I was waiting at this point. I was ahead of Kevin, who is our tour guide, and Derek, and I got one of them jumping in, which I thought was really cool because this team rooted them on. They were like, yay, go, yay, and that was awesome. So I want to mention for sure again the terrain. This terrain is not easy. And there's just another point. Some people had climbed their way over there, and they had chose to get in there. These are the stairs. The stairs are steep. Some of them are rickety. I sped this up a little bit just to kind of show you a little bit of the walk. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to get to the top if you're enjoying yourself and you're stopping. What you don't see are all of the vendors. There are vendors everywhere. At every point when you turn, you're going to see someone selling jerk chicken, man. You know, even photos, everything. That's the tree of life. And I went and rubbed the tree. I don't know why. Maybe I thought money was going to fall from the sky, but it didn't. Nevertheless, that's me rubbing that tree. As you see, little houses everywhere. Those are vendors, and they are selling some of everything. And it's beautiful. Like I said, you're in the middle of the woods. And look how gorgeous it is. At every turn, it was just so beautiful. I would love to go back and just spend the day. Again, look at the terrain. If you have older people with you, and I mean, you know, did have bad knees or whatever, and at this point we've climbed a little bit. So look how gorgeous that is. Just stunning. And you can see people on that side. People were jumping in over there. They were jumping in at all points. These people were actually on the ship with us. But this was a beautiful excursion. I would love to go back and just take my time. Of course, when you're on the boat, you feel a little bit rushed. This is me. Your tour guide will take your camera and take the most beautiful pictures of you. And this is me trying to take a beautiful picture. And look at that beautiful picture. And that's Derek and I. And your tour guide will help you with that. And that is one of the higher points at the top. They were jumping from there, and people were jumping from the midpoint, and people were even jumping. This is where I got in. This point right here. This is where I felt most comfortable. But the water was cold, and I'll be honest with you, I did not stay very long. My body was not used to that. It was just too chilly. So after that, we went and got something to eat. That is the only menu that was there. So we kept it basic. My honey said, hey, let's get fried chicken. And I said, whatever you're getting, I'm getting. So I added some oxtail gravy with my rice and vegetables. And he just got vegetables and fried chicken. And it was an outdoor setting. And we also had a view. So that's the ocean over there. You can't see it, but it was the ocean. And the food was delicious. It really was. Really, really good food. So this is just our drive. When we left here, the best was yet to come. And I will say this, Jamaica, if you thought you could smoke in Jamaica, if you were a marijuana smoker, there's marijuana. It was everywhere. At the port, it was everywhere. It was available. You could smoke in the taxi. This is someone's house, and from their driveway, Kanoko Falls. So I knew when we got to this person's house and we were at their driveway that I'm like, wow, Kanoko Falls in the driveway. Where do you get this at? So this is the view from the time we walked into the outdoor setting at this man's property. His name is Tesfa, and it's Rastaman's lookout point. And it had panoramic views. We could even see our ship. These three ladies were already there. They say they visit every time they go to Ochos Rios. We were welcomed from the time we walked in with a glass of rum punch in a chilled glass. It was the most delicious rum punch I think I've ever had in my life. You could actually, like I said, see the ship from there. The music was playing, the vibe was right, it was reggae music, and it was awesome. So, and then you could smoke. Smoke was offered everywhere. It was offered at the Secret Blue Hole. It was offered it was everywhere you went. You were going, if that was your thing, then that was going to be your thing all day. And this is me walking around because I had to get this on camera. This is this man's home. And of course, we paid $5 each for the rum punch. He had a lot of conversation pieces like this one. They said his name was Ready Freddy. And I said, I see why his name was Ready Freddy. And again, the views. He's actually pointing at the ship. We stayed there and listened to reggae music and drank our rum punch until we heard the boat go, and it was awesome. It was just awesome. And I asked him, I said, this place should be packed. And he assured me that it does get packed. You see he made bar stools. He has his refrigerator there, his music system playing the best reggae, and he's telling me when it's packed, you don't feel the vibes, you don't get the one-on-one attention, and you don't feel the vibes. So we felt the vibes that day. This place was amazing. Afterwards, we were so tired from all the fun of the day. We love Ocho's Rios. We went back and took us a good nap.